It's a beautiful day. I don't want to keep everyone inside longer than we need to be. So again, thank you everyone for joining us today and finding out a little bit more about our Baldwin campus. My name is Jason Gutleiser. I am the Human Resources Director for Camps R Us. I'm also the Director for Logistics and Planning for Camps R Us. When I'm not working at camp, I'm a high school chemistry teacher. Before these two roles at Camps R Us, I was the regional director for the southern campuses, one of which is Baldwin. And then before that, I was the campus director at Baldwin. So Baldwin holds a very near and dear place in my heart. It's a very special campus. And it's one of our smaller campuses, which is great for creating kind of a family feel within the campus. We have some fantastic individuals with us representing Camps R Us. We have Tracy Stein, who is the regional director for Baldwin and for all the southern campuses. And we have Will Gillis, who is your campus director for Baldwin. He was actually my program director when I was the campus director there for a few years. So he's definitely experienced being at Camps R Us. He knows the program well, and a really a fantastic resource. And I'm excited that he's back in this role as the director for Baldwin. So I'm going to ask both of them to monitor the chat as and the Q&A as the presentation progresses this afternoon. By all means, if anybody has questions, please feel free to ask them. Either Will or Tracy will address them in the chat or in the Q&A. If not, please interrupt me and we'll definitely get those answered. And we have some time slated at the end to go over any questions that maybe we didn't cover during the course of this open house. And Tracy and Will, if there's anything that I missed, please interrupt me and jump in as I'm going.
You got it.
As I know you will. So again, welcome everyone. We are very excited about what this summer holds for us this year. We're excited that you're here and finding out more about Camps R Us. The picture you see here is actually directly from our Baldwin campus. As I mentioned, it is one of our smaller campuses, and that really helps to create this real family feel. And I know when I was the director there, by the end of the summer, I knew every kid, which is really a nice thing to be able to do and to experience. This is kind of our plan of attack for this afternoon. We're going to highlight four big kind of overarching themes with the summer program, talking about arrival and dismissal, camp day, health and wellness, which is a big concern I know for everyone, and then talk about how to register and take advantage of some great savings that we have. But just a little bit of background about Camps R Us kind of as an organization. Camps R Us was made or created in 1993 by Gary Turnier and his wife Joanne. They needed an affordable daycare option for their kids. And Camps R Us was born at our Hicksville location. Since then, we have grown and expanded. We now have 11 campuses across Long Island, from Valley Stream all the way out to St. James. We have probably about 1,500 campers at our peak enrollment we had, and about 300 staff members. So it's a huge organization, but we are a close-knit family. You know, it's a family-owned business, and we really try and treat everyone in the organization, both our staff as well as the families and our parents, really like family. We are the most affordable private day camp on the island, which is something that we are proud of. We are, extremely proud of our safety record, being accredited by the American Camp Association, as well as an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. So let's talk about the Baldwin campus in general. This is a picture of our Baldwin campus. We are run out of St. Christopher School, which is kind of right on the corner of Grand Avenue and Merrick Road. It's just a couple of blocks west of Grand Avenue. So looking at this picture, Merrick Road is kind of right over here on the left side of your screen. This is Pershing Boulevard that kind of runs in there where you see the cars. The main entrance that's used is right on the side. Unfortunately, you can't see that side of the building, but it is on Pershing Boulevard. That's going to be the main entrance for Baldwin. We utilize the field across the street, the playground over here, this whole field over here, as well as the blacktop behind the building, as well as some classrooms inside the building. I'm going to put this out there because I know it is public knowledge that St. Christopher's is closing at the end of this year. That will not affect the camp program this summer. We are still running camp there. There will be there's no problems with that. The camp is definitely running there, even in light of the school closing. So every morning, you will drop your children off. We do what's called a valet arrival. So you will pull up along Pershing Boulevard over here from Merrick Road. A staff member will greet you. A temperature check will be performed on all the campers. There'll be a health screening, a wellness screening. This year, we are utilizing the Companion app, which will allow you to answer all of those questions before arriving on campus. And it will give you, I don't know if it's like a check mark or something, but it will give you an okay that you are able to enter camp that day. And you'll have to show that upon arrival to campus. Once the campers pass the check, they have a temperature under 100 degrees. They will come out of the car, get hand sanitizer, wash up, and then be escorted to their respective groups. At the end of the day, a very similar process is going to happen. You are going to pull up same location where you drop your children off in the morning. That's where you're going to pick them up at the end of the day. All parents are required to present photo ID, or anyone picking up your child is required to present photo ID. By the time a couple of weeks go on, the staff is probably going to know you, and they'll probably even recognize your car as you pull up and have your child ready to go. But it is always a good idea to have that photo ID just in case it's maybe someone new that's working the dismissal, someone doesn't usually do it, or if, grandma, grandpa, babysitter, whoever is picking up your kids, someone out of the ordinary, they're going to need that photo ID. We'll check the photo ID with a authorized adult list, and you can add as many adults on there as you want. Those are people that you are giving the okay for us to release your child to that person.
And you do that through your Camp Minder account, your Camp in Touch account that you're going to set up.
Or maybe you have set up already if you've already applied and registered, and that's fantastic if you did. Needless to say, last summer presented a host of issues and new challenges that we have never had to deal with in the 27-8 years of Camps R Us. And that's the COVID-19 pandemic. We were given the approval by the state, I believe it was June 2nd last year, to open camp. And we were opening camp on June 29th. So we had 4 weeks to completely reimagine and revamp and adjust and tweak the programming that we normally would do at camp. And Tracy, I think you will agree with me that it was a fantastic summer, all things considered. Campers had a great time. We had 0 incidents of transmission of COVID-19 on campus. A couple of little scares, but nothing that panned it out. But 0 transmission on campus. And that's a testament to the families being so diligent with monitoring symptoms. It's a testament to our staff who were constantly cleaning and constantly staying on top of it, and ensuring that masks were worn with the campers as well as themselves. Um, we've learned some great things in light of this challenge, and we are excited to be bringing a number of those to summer of 2021. Some of those being the arrival and dismissal that I just talked about, that valet system um, of arrival and dismissal. It worked out very well. It was very efficient, and parents really seemed to respond to that and found it very helpful. Again, sorry, go ahead, Trace.
That was me.
Oh, I thought it was you. Sorry. So looking forward to this summer, again, a lot of those policies we are continuing with that emphasis on overall health, on well-being, and just ensuring that everyone is healthy and safe during the course of this summer while having an enjoyable experience. You can find out many details about our COVID policies at campsforus.org/COVID. If you want detailed reading. We're going to go through some of that. We're not going to go through it in the detail that you'll see it on our website. But again, we're very excited to looking at this upcoming summer. Some of the things that we are continuing on, I mentioned the valet system for arrival and dismissal. We are having a largely on-campus summer this year. We are going to be going off for some things, for some trips. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, but it's primarily on campus. We're boosting up water activities, having like slip and slides and things like that coming on campus more frequently, more often. So some good things to look forward to. Every day at camp, it is a structured day. Every group is going to follow a set schedule. We start off our morning with something called the breakout challenge. And that's a great way to just kind of get everyone excited about what the day has to offer. Announcements will be made. We'll have a challenge either between the campers, between staff, sometimes between both. This is typically led by our program directors. Once the breakout challenge is over, the campers will disperse to their first activities. The activities are, as I mentioned, scheduled. They're 45 to 60 minutes and range from arts and crafts to athletics, maybe water play, younger campers going in the playground on campus, gaming, video games, go-karts, gaga, the like. We do offer a number of electives for our campers. We have Kaboom Kids, who is coming back. They came last year. We're very excited to have them coming back. They were a fantastic program. They're a combination of kind of music and dance and fitness that's geared towards our younger campers, Tiny Tots through second grade. Certainly, if there's availability and the space allows, we'll have some of our older campers come in, but it's primarily for our younger campers. EduCamp, which is meant to prevent summer learning loss. All three of us are teachers here, and I'm pretty sure that we all see this with our students every year, that there is some degree of loss of what's been covered during the course of the year, especially in light of what's been happening this year. Now, this program is meant to just reinforce everything that was covered during the course of the school year. We have Soccer Shots coming back. They are a professional soccer team. They'll work with our kids, developing skills. They're a fantastic group of professionals. Very excited to have them back, as well as the dance program that will be running at our campuses. One thing that we try and do is pull the strengths of our staff. So different campuses may run different club activities. For example, if last year we had someone who played drums, there was a music teacher on campus. They ran drum buckets, and the kids were actually learning rhythms and getting used to playing drums and percussion equipment and instruments. We might do Lego club. maybe someone's a talented football player. They play on their football team at school. Maybe they want to create a little league on campus. So things like that. And they'll vary, again, depending on the different campus and the different strengths of our staff and abilities of our staff. I should say also that our campers are grouped by the by the grade that they are currently in. So whatever they finish in June, whatever grade they're in June, that is how they are grouped for us during camp. So a child in second grade right now will be grouped in our second grade division. Do you guys have any questions? Tracy, Will, are you seeing anything?
Nope, nothing yet.
Okay. Any of our parents, are there anything I'm missing? Any questions that you might have right now?
No.
Oh, I see a hand.
Can you hear me? I'm not sure if you can hear
We
me.
can hear you.
Yes.
Oh, yes, you said the Baldwin, the school where the campus is being held is closing. That's not for this year, but is it for future years to come that you will be moving the camp to a different site?
Honestly, I don't know. That would be a decision and a discussion that would be made with the parish specifically, the school, and either Jason Turnier, who's our managing director, or Gary, the executive director. I don't know. We do have other campuses in buildings in schools that are not functioning schools. For example, our Farmingdale location, that school is closed during the year, and we come in and we utilize it for our camp. So it is very, very possible that a similar thing would be done with the Baldwin campus.
Okay, I have one more question.
Of course.
I was wanting to know about the you do the early arrival. I mean, you can do early arrival and late pickup, but what about late drop off in the morning? How does that work?
So if your child is dropped off late, there's always going to be someone monitoring the front door. If for some reason they're not there, there's going to be a sign to say, call the office and someone will meet you there. They're still going to have to do that temperature check and health screening. And then they'll be escorted to their group and join their activities. You did mention.
I'm sorry. I'm told sometimes that they might be out, like they might be bowling, they might be swimming. So
Yes.
My daughter might miss the window of being able to join in on the activity because you have to do a head count and they have to know how many people are arriving.
So what would happen, you're going to have a schedule, or rather you're going to have the calendar available to you. Those will hopefully be published and finalized this week. So if the group is going on a trip, then we can work it out. If it's something local, we can do a drop off there at the venue, and still we'll have to do that health screening and those health questions and the temperature check.
Okay.
If it's something that is maybe not feasible to do that, then you would drop your daughter off on campus and she would go with the next age group.
Now, I was
So she
going to
does have
say,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was going to say, so she does have the opportunity to join in the activity, even though she may be late.
Yes.
Okay.
If you can, you could drop when we give the calendar, it will tell you the locations of the bowling alley and the swimming pool. And if you're able to drop them off, then like what Jason says, we'll screen them at that location when you drop them off, and then they can still join in on the activity.
But how does that work when they go on the bus for the count? Well, because the count will be off because she didn't arrive with them, but she will leave with them.
We'll change the count. Like we have the X amount of campers. I almost said students. We have X amount of campers that are going in on the bus that goes into the venue. And then once you arrive with your child, what the group leader would basically do would call me back at the campus and let me know like he or she has joined us. We have screened them and they're clear to go.
Do they get bands or anything indicating with the Campers group or?
Yes, they get
One-
bands for all the trips. They'll get the band with their color of their campus labeled so that they know, and they're also wearing their camp shirts on those days. So that way they can be identified that they are Camps R Us. When
Okay.
they go swimming, they get a swimming band along with the camp band. So we can keep track of everybody. And going back to your last question as well, my counselors, I used to run the East Rockaway campus and my counselors took the attendance sheets with them. So they just checked them off and added the campers to the count. So, you know, the count, we're not worried about the count because they will be taken care of and counted in there.
And this year with the Department of Health guidelines with COVID on trips, all campers are going to have assigned seats on the bus. So what they would do is if we know you're going to be dropping your daughter off, the staff will set aside a spot for her on the bus so that they know, okay, on the return trip, she's going in this spot. I do want to talk about something else that you brought up, the early arrival and the late pickup, just in case people aren't aware of that. We do have that option that is available to you. It is an on-demand service, so you do not need to call up and let Will know that you're going to drop your child off early. There's always someone there from as early as 7:30 and as late as 6 p.m. From 7:30 to 8:40 is the early arrival, and 5:10 until 6 o'clock is the late pickup. There is a charge for them, but again, it is an as needed basis. You do not need to let us know. And that would just get added to your online account.
Right.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
What is the camp counselor to kid ratio? And how many kids are you allowing in a group?
So that's a complicated answer.
I'm
because
sure.
because the Department of Health has the campers broken up into cohorts. Right now, the current regulations say 15 campers to a cohort. We are expecting that to increase to 30. The new guidance, I believe, is coming out April 1st. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it is April 1st that is coming out. So we're optimistic that that is going to increase. Now, that does not mean that it is one counselor for 30 campers. That would be crazy. We are not doing that. The camper to counselor ratio within an age group is roughly one staff to the age of the camper. So I'll give you an example. First and second grade, we're dealing with roughly 8-year-olds. That would roughly be the ratio of camper to counselor. So one staff to roughly 8 campers.
Okay. Thank you.
You're
Just to
welcome.
add to that as well, so, you know, when they're going to a special activity, that's an extra set of hands on deck as well. So they're going to art, they're going to an art teacher, they're going to gym, they're going to a, you know, an athletic director, who's usually a teacher. So that's an extra set of hands to count in that ratio.
So trips was brought up. I alluded to it. There was a question about it. We are very excited to be bringing these back. Trips are kind of a hallmark of the camp experience. We're not going full on what we did back in 2019, but this is kind of a mix between last year where we did not do any trips and 2019 when we were doing quite a number of trips. So we are continuing with swimming and bowling, but if you know people that have attended Camps R Us in the past, we are not doing them on the same day this year. So there will be 5 days of swimming and 5 different days of bowling. Each division.
For the whole summer.
Would you say, Will?
That's for the whole summer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Each division has 2 trips planned. There's an additional bonus trip of the Mets game for 3rd grade and up. And our 7th and 8th grade campers have, I believe it's 2 additional trips, bonus trips beyond that. All the trips are optional. If you're not comfortable with your child going on the trips, that's totally fine. They would stay back at campus with anyone else, an appropriate number of staff to stay with them. But those are all optional again. When we
I
go,
have a question.
yes.
So as far as the trips and pools, how does that work? Specifically related to the younger population that you may have. I have a 5-year-old son and I'm a little concerned about the pool setting.
Okay. We use Wantagh Pool. Are you familiar with that facility and that setup there?
No, I'm not.
Okay. So Wantagh Pool is a wonderful facility. The younger campers, your son in particular, being in the kinder camp division, would be in their kind of spray interactive park. It's kind of like a jungle gym with like water guns and waterfalls and everything, and the kids have a fantastic time. They absolutely love that section of the pool. That would be where they stay. And incidentally, for everyone, swimming is a purely recreational activity. There's no instruction involved in it. All of our campers are assumed to be non-swimmers, which means that they are in water that is no deeper than their chest.
Okay.
When all of our campers go swimming, the staff is in the pool with the campers. And that is incredibly important from a safety standpoint. If the staff are in the pool and they're monitoring and they're watching what's going on, if God forbid something were to happen, the staff member can very, very quickly react and help a child that might be, a little uncomfortable, whatever, or having some difficulty.
Jason?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Just to chime in, we call that at Camps for Us active supervision. It's a requirement that all counselors need to do. They're not just standing there and watching the kids, they're playing with the kids. So if there is a situation, they're literally in the middle of the situation, and they could diffuse it or take care of it right then and there.
Okay, that makes me feel better. Thank you.
They also, every 15 minutes, do a buddy check. So they're pulled out of that area and they stand with their buddy, and we make sure that everybody's there as well. And we do a number of those throughout their swimming experience each time they go.
Great, thank you.
Of course.
In addition to that, we train some of our own staff as pool activity leaders. So it's a little bit of an additional training, similar to a lifeguard, first aid, CPR. Those individuals are trained on and are able to react. And as Tracy mentioned, all of the campers at the pool, they have the specific wristbands so that we can very easily identify our campers from other patrons. In the larger pool for our older campers, the staff will actually form a box in the pool to kind of block our kids from everyone else. When they go in and change, we kind of go in and we take over that locker room and kind of kick everyone else out so that it is just our campers in there. And that just creates an extra layer of safety and security there. Why aren't... Okay. So health and wellness, incredibly, incredibly important, especially in light of everything that we're dealing with COVID. As I mentioned earlier, the success of last year and having zero transmission on campus, I really give props to our staff who went above and beyond following COVID protocols and to a T, and that thorough disinfecting and thorough cleaning that they did on campus. It really does begin with the staff, and they are an incredibly loving, nurturing, caring, supportive group of individuals that we employ. I mentioned earlier that part of my responsibility is for human resources. So we do a thorough check of everyone, thorough interviewing of everyone, and extensive training pre-season before our campers step on foot on campus. We've done thorough training with our staff in regard to childcare, interacting with children, how to diffuse different situations, how to just appropriately care for campers. In addition, our senior staff are trained as health designees, which means they are trained in AED response, CPR, first aid, anaphylaxis. Our entire staff is trained in allergy awareness, in recognizing the signs of a severe allergic reaction in children. And that's done by Safe for Kids, which is the leading allergy resource on Long Island. All campers and staff need to complete a physical exam and have their immunizations on record. All of that information is reviewed by our health and wellness director. And anytime something happens on campus, you're going to be notified. And I know from personally working with Will, that is a huge priority of his, is that parent communication. And if something is a little bit out of whack, a little bit not typical of your child, you're going to be notified.
Can I add something? Can I add something to that?
Please. Yes.
As a teacher, I always pride myself in transparency. That's the one thing you could describe me as. Transparency leads to trust. So it's extremely important that my staff members are extremely transparent with me. So, and in turn, I'm always going to be transparent with the parents. That way we could build that level of trust throughout the summer and into the coming summers if you guys decide to come back.
And of course you will, because you're going to have such a fantastic time this summer.
Absolutely.
I was going to say something. Of course, if you have any questions during the course of the summer, feel free to give that campus a call. I'm sure Will is going to be sending out emails. You're going to have his email available to you. Myself and Tracy, of course, we are available should any concerns arise. So registering. One of the, I think, hallmarks of our program and one of the benefits, I think, of our program is that it is very customizable. You can attend from 2 to 5 days a week. You can attend from 1 to 8 weeks, and you can really mix and match all of that. It's up to you. If you want to come 4 weeks, it does not need to be 4 consecutive weeks. It can be any 4 weeks during the course of our summer program, which runs from June 28th through August 20th. And we're off for, I believe it's the 5th. For
July
July
5th, yes.
4th. The 5th for the 4th.
The 5th.
Sunday.
Yes.
The 4th is a Sunday. We have no camp on Monday.
Right.
The more you come, the less it works out to per week. All the fees are on our website. Again, they're done on a weekly basis. We do offer a number of discounts if you have multiple children coming. It's 5% off 2 children. More than that, it is 10% off of each child. We have a number of employee discounts and workforce discounts. They're up to $100 this year. So I definitely encourage you to take advantage of that. There's probably like 75 or so different employers that we work with. Those are all listed on our website. I know NYPD is there, a number of hospitals and healthcare
Is Northwell there?
I'm sorry?
Is Northwell there?
I am almost positive it is.
Okay,
but,
good.
But like I said, there's about 75 of them and they're often updated. So don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Great.
So those are some of the ways that you can, save some money. And if you have friends, refer each other. That's going to save you also some money. There is a referral discount. There are a number of payment plans. You can choose to pay in full. You can choose to do a monthly payment plan. No matter what you choose, we are going to take that $300 deposit per child when you enroll or when you submit that application. those are the two that are most common, the pay in full or the monthly installment plan. If you need to adjust or tweak or change or have some kind of special payment plan, I recommend emailing info@campsrus.org, and the other Jason will be able to work that out with you and set that up for you. He handles all those financial concerns. Any questions?
I have one.
Yes.
So there's no hot lunch. We used to do hot lunch, right? You guys used to warm up the kids' food if they were to have something that needed to be heated.
Okay, thank you for bringing that up. So you would need to provide lunch for your children. All the lunches are refrigerated at the start of the day. If you send something that does need to be heated, we can heat it. There is a microwave on campus that the staff will use. However, please include instructions. If not, our staff will use their best guess on that. Some trips that we go on may have lunch included, and you'll get information about that when it gets closer to that specific date. And there are some events on campus where we will provide food. Shade's Big Shindig, for example, is a big barbecue. We have ice cream Sunday day, so they'll have ice cream after lunch, but you'll get specifics on all of those as it gets closer.
Yeah, you had a question on what the policy on masks will be for campers.
All right, so perhaps I should have said this earlier, but all of our COVID guidelines that we've talked about are based on the current guidelines and the current stipulations by the Department of Health. As we all know, things change literally daily. So this may change, but as of now, the policy is that campers will and staff will wear their masks. Staff will wear it all the time. The campers will wear it when any cohorts could potentially mix. So for example, if they are transitioning between activities, going from art to the gym, the group would have to wear their masks because there's the possibility of running into another cohort in that transition. If a child is using the restroom, he or she would need to wear their mask going to and from the restroom. While the campers are within their cohort, so our kinder campers in art, it is just them. They do not need to wear their masks. Outside, as long as they are 6 feet from each other and maintaining that distance, they don't need to wear them either. But that is the current guidelines that we have.
It's also about your comfort level. So if you want your child to wear your mask throughout the entire day, that's up to you as well, and we will respect that.
Certainly, certainly. You know, those are the minimum is what I just outlined, but Tracy's certainly right. If you are more comfortable with that, we will enforce that on our end.
I have a question. Will you allow people that have been vaccinated to not wear a mask?
So based on the current guidelines, that is probably not going to happen. The CDC, the Department of Health, is recommending that everyone still remain masked, even if they are double vaccinated or if they have the Johnson & Johnson, that they have that one vaccine dose. If that changes, then we will certainly adjust accordingly. But as of now, all staff, and we are encouraging all of our staff who are eligible to get vaccinated, they will all have their masks on.
Anyone else have any questions?
No.
All right. Well,
Okay.
we did pretty good on time, I must say. So I want to again thank you everyone on behalf of Tracy, Will, myself, and Camps R Us in general. I thank you for spending your time with us on this gorgeous, gorgeous Saturday. I hope that this has been worthwhile. I hope that you've got some sense of what the camp program is going to be like and what the days are going to be like for your children. I look forward to seeing you on campus. Look forward to seeing your children on campus, and a great summer. If you have any questions, if you leave and you're thinking about this and questions come up, by all means, email, call us, send us a message on Facebook. We're in the office on Monday every day. I'm one of the administrators on the Facebook page, so I will be either myself or the other Jason are going to be answering your questions. If you have anything, please let us know. Please ask. We want you to feel comfortable. We want you to feel confident with your decision. And again, I look forward to seeing you guys this summer.
Thank you.
Okay, thank